So that's a whole other step. That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out if I want to do right now. I wrote a script for my next feature, and it's like a crime drama feature, kind of like the Refn's Pusher movies or something, or like old Scorsese movies, and kind of crime, gangster, drug dealing stuff. And it's something I'd have to do on weekends, though, and I'd have to do it for like fucking 5 months. But it's possible. Like, I know the equipment's out there. We know how to make it look like a real movie. I know the talent's out there that'll do it. But it's like, that's a commitment, man. That's like 6 months of your life just for production. And then, then you got to post it and everything. So I'm really like thinking about taking that step forward and trying to like make something really, really good. And that's just something I didn't even know about when I made Gainesville Ripper. I was doing it the Rob Rodriguez way, or at least in the way he said in his book.
Yeah. Well, and here in the last few years, you've been doing short films, is that right? Specifically, I wanted to talk about horror.
Oh, you've seen horror? Oh, fuck! You did do research. Yeah, that's
that's
like
my best.
Yeah, horror's kind of where everything really flipped around for me. Like a couple years before that, horror was 3 years ago, almost exactly 3 years ago. And because I've always had a couple of local filmmakers, like probably since since before Gainesville Ripper, even a couple of years, we worked together and helped each other out. But there was only 2 or 3 or 4 of us, and whenever we played movies in town, there would only be 10 people that show up, and they'd be in a bar somewhere or something. Like but so it started to change like about 5 years ago, and I helped somebody with some local features, and they're not high quality enough to be, get on Netflix or anything like that, but we're doing cool stuff and we're having fun, and we don't have, it's art. It's actually like real art because there's not commerce involved. You're not worried about making money. That's kind of was at the time it's my favorite thing to do. I kind of realized that at one point, like, it's so much better making movies if you're not worried about making money, if you can do it, and technology's caught up, the cameras have caught up, and editing systems caught up. So anyway, I'm helping my buddies make movies and shit like that, and I'm shooting a short, and I've never been in front of the camera before. I was always like a shitty fucking actor, and like a really shitty actor. Like, there was a joke for 10 years in town, like the worst actor in town was Josh Townsend, so don't put a movie, didn't even try to act. And we did. I was in one of my buddies' movies just because out of necessity, because I was producing it, and we needed a character. And then, I'm starting to get in my 40s at this time, so I've been doing it for a while. And I get a cute little 25, 23-year-old girlfriend, start, fall in love with her for a couple months. And she's like the first girlfriend I ever had that's cool about making movies, too, which is weird. Like, she's a hot little young, cool fucking girl, but she's also really encouraging about making movies. Like, I won't come hang out with you unless you get this work done and do this. But it ends up that one day we went to the beach, and I had a camera test for our equipment test. We had got this new equipment and stuff for a feature I was producing. My buddy Henry was directing. And I think me and her ate like half a Xanax or something, so we fell asleep on the couch. And I woke up late, and my phone's dead, and I have to call the fellows and tell them I'm late for the camera test. I'm coming, and I grab her phone, and it's like a text, and it's like, you want to ride this rich man's dick, blah, blah. It's some dude trying to talk her into coming over to have sex for money. So it's like I found out, like, the girl I was, my girlfriend was at least in discussions about, fucking dudes for money so she could pay her mortgage or whatever. And so, obviously, I didn't want to be in a relationship with that kind of girl, but I liked her and everything. And we're talking about it. It fucked me up really bad anyway. So I had to make a movie about it. And horror is what came out of that. Like, there wasn't even a script for it. It was just a shot list. It was like kind of like the first half of it is everything that happened that was all true, and then the second half is like almost like the fantasy. Like, what if I could do this? I would do it. And it was like I was insane at the time. So it's cool. It's like I made a short film where I was insane, but I had played myself and I never acted before, and actually I did a good job on it, and it worked out good. And since then I've been acting in a bunch of shit. Like, something just kind of clicked. about it. But the girl in it, Audra, who plays my girlfriend, I just met. I'd known her from shooting 10 years back. She's in Gainesville Ripper, and I hadn't seen her in years, and we just kind of hooked up like 3 or 4 days earlier. I went to the actual first Jack Short Film Fest, which was like almost sold out, and she trusted me, and I was like, dude, I got to do this short. I broke up with my girlfriend, and we trust me and shut up on set, do it. She did, and we shot it, and that's like my favorite thing. That's like the favorite thing I ever did. We shot that one day, and I knew the shots I wanted and everything, and I just figured out how to act. I mean, it's playing myself too mostly, but it's like I didn't see the camera the whole time, even though I directed. I just showed my friend Henry, the shots I needed, and we talked about kind of how to get them, and then I just go into character. But that was like a true story, and I was going to end it too, where I was going to go into a school and shoot up, not really actually show me shooting up a school, but like the last shot being me walking up towards a school with like a gun or something. And Henry had just had a kid, and he's like, man, we can't do that. We got to do something else. And he's like, cops. I was like, oh, shit, that's an even better idea. And there's a cop substation down the road, so we're like, fuck, we'll go steal the shots, and pretend I go blow up the cops instead for being pissed off. So that's how horror came about. And it's since then, and then Audra, the girl, became like my best friend. I mean, I'd known her, but we became so close, and she's ended up everything I've worked on since then. She's proofs the scripts, writes the scripts for me, edits and all that. And that was just like amazing. So I did some like really cool shorts, like I'm really proud of, with her, and a lot of work and scripts that even haven't got finished. And I cut 2 shorts that haven't got finished with her. But she ended up dying in February. So that kind of fucked me up. So this year's been all fucking bad for me up until like past 2 months or so. Like I kind of snapped out of it and realized like, fuck, I gotta do something. And so I wrote a feature script, and it's the first thing I've written seriously, without on my own, without Aud, or without my creative partner. So it's been really weird, but this kid Royce, who kind of met us on Facebook, just wants to make a feature or whatever, talked into making his feature, and he's been shooting at my house, so they're here every other weekend or every weekend, and that kind of helped me snap out of it and start wanting to make movies again. And that's the horror in a confessional long story picture.
So are you kind of using movies now as like a form of therapy? I know that sounds like cliche, but you get what I'm going with that.
No, that's what I did past couple of years. Like really everything I did. Me and Audie did another short called Trace and Lacey about a junkie couple that leaves her kid in the car, and that's something I'm really proud of. We knew like a showcase is coming up, and it's like we can make a short and it'll play on the screen, and there'll be 180-something people that'll watch it. Let's do something. So we came up with the idea of doing this 2 junkie kids that were deciding they were going to go clean. They have the kid together, and they get high, and they go inside, and they realize that they left their kid out in the car. Because that summer it seemed like every other day you were hearing about people leaving their kids in the car, and they're dying in the heat, like they go in the store. And so I made a little short about it, and it was kind of like I wasn't sure like if I could figure it out acting too. Like it was just some kind of weird fluke with horror. So we did Trace and Lacey, and it was like, okay, I kind of realized the process a little bit, but I'm not like I realized also I'm not like a great actor, like great actor. I'm a good character actor. I can do it good if I can really kind of relate to the character, but I haven't got to where if it's somebody like I'm totally unrelatable to, or that's not like me, I'm not sure how good a job I can do. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I get you. It's got to be something that's well, you said relatable. I guess that's the best term.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean. So
yeah. But I'm proud of what I did with Byro and American Guinea Pig. That movie's Song of Solomon. That's going to be a really good movie. Like I play a doctor or something, so it is something a lot different from me, and it did take me a little bit. And I'm like with people that were all like looked up as kids. It's like the people in Manson family, the Charles Manson, the Sadie from Manson. She's like my partner in the movie, and like she is fucking weird, man. It was like all these people I look up to my whole life. I'm making a movie with them, and they're all looking at me as a peer, but they're all like kind of like underground famous at least, and whenever he's doing press release, it's like blah, blah, from blah, 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 and Josh Townsend. And it's like, okay, that's cool though, man. That's cool. It's like, that's the dude who did, the effects on fucking toe tag movies and August Underground and shit, and Marcus Cox and blah, blah, and Josh Townsend. So I was like, oh, that's cool. But I was nervous as fuck, man. Jim and Beber, I love hanging out with Jim. Jim's fucking cool as shit. He really was my hero as a kid. So once I got that done, it's like, damn, I've been in the mood with Jim. Fucking, I'm pretty much done. If I was my 18-year-old kid could look at me now, he'd be geeking out and everything, so I got that out of the way.
I hear you, man. Well, I'll tell you what, after doing like a true crime movie as your first movie, and then now everybody always wants you to talk about true crime on podcasts, do you ever get that itch to do another serial killer movie, or did that one just ruin it for you forever?
Yeah, that ruined it for me forever. I wouldn't do another serial killer movie. Well, dude, I mean, if I had a legit budget and a legit producer behind me, I'd do it, whatever, but and I still all the time watch movies. Like there's a Unabomber show on Discovery, and I know a lot about the Unabomber case, and it's like, how would I do this? I think about that, and then I see how they're doing it, and it's like, okay, I see how they're playing it from this angle. It's cool, So I would think about doing something like that, but it's more like I wouldn't do anything like that without support, Like if I'm like what I'm thinking, the feature I'm trying to do now, I'm just about to start or whatever. That's all fiction. So those are all characters. So I don't know. It's easier for me to go on my own about that, but it almost feels like I need protection if I'm going to do something a little bit controversial based on a true story thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd do anything. It didn't scare me away from it. It just it gave me a lot of perspective on, on how you want to do it. And how you want to look at your career. Like if you're going to be a director, you're going to be looked at by your first movie, your second movie, and blah, blah, blah. So you really need to think about that kind of stuff too, besides like the immediate story you're telling. And I don't know, all that shit got too much for me for a while. That's why we just started doing shorts and just making stuff be fun. But now it's kind of got to a point, especially since Audie died. Like I'm just, I know I need to either buckle down and try to do something that's gonna be at least be able to compete with everything else out there. Like something that's as good as what everything else is playing in the festivals. So, or else I don't want to put my name on it. Like, I'll help people do whatever. I'll act in something if they need me or something. But if I'm going to direct it, if it's directed by Josh Townsend, then I want it to at least be able to compete with everything worldwide too. Like anything anybody's made in the past year, I'd like my movie to at least be able to compete at that level. And that's a lot of fucking work, dude. And, but it's possible. I don't know. Serial killer movies. It's not the thing about serial killer movies is also it's like how it's going to end, especially if it's based on a true story, and it's hard not to make it into a slasher movie, too. And even if you're telling it true, like I did Danny Rollins, it might come across as being a slasher movie too. So it's a weird little artistic fine line. Like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer probably did it the best. If I was an asshole and wasted,
to go outside. I was gonna say you have to almost go outside the real names and go with like an homage to it without actually saying who it is.
Yeah, you have to. You really do need to make it kind of artistic. That's where I trapped myself in artistic hole, was by trying to make it exactly realistic, like factual realistic, to the thing. But that traps you in a hole artistically and even story-wise telling. You might be altering facts in a story, but it'll work out better as a movie an hour and a half than just what actually happened to happen during real life. And those are the cool little creative conversations you have making movies, or decisions you have to think about. But I don't know, but I would love to make how many people listen to your podcast? Like, honestly.
Well, depending on a true crime episode, we get hundreds of people listening to the true crime episodes because they're the most popular. Like, we call them the main event of the month because that's what everybody likes the best. So, I'm sure you know how that is.
Well, I don't see. I don't know how if I should say this in public too much, but dude, what I really like to make, an Anders Breivik movie about the Norwegian killer. Like, I would love to make a movie about him. That would be the shit to me. But